Hello YouTube world, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. My name is Salvatore Anzalone. I'm going to be your host for a long time. Just so you know a little bit about me, we've been posting a lot of pictures, and we told everybody that we're going to start a video series. We're going to teach people about exercise movements, proper form, things like that. We have a lot of cool things, a lot of cool guests coming into our video series that we're going to start through Life Coach Apparel. We're going to have a lot of people talking about health, nutrition, diet, exercise, the whole 9 yards. What our purpose is and what our point is for starting this company is to reach out to the world to really just talk about health and wellness and living life to its fullest potential by using that holistic approach, not just exercise based, but also taking care of a mind, body, and spirit. So this is the first of many videos. I just wanted to take it upon myself. I know it's late at night and it's dark in here, but I just got done training, and I just wanted to get the ball rolling. I figured you just sometimes have to take that drastic step. And this is me doing it. We're going to have a lot of videos with a lot of higher quality, but I wanted people to really see what we're about and just get our message out there as quickly as possible for you all to soak up and hopefully utilize. I hope that you take all of our information that we do give you. We have a lot of people who have a lot of experience in their fields. I've been a personal trainer for a long time. I love CrossFit. Obviously, you see a lot of our videos. We've really taken to the community aspect of it all and all the functional movements, but I'm also a physical therapist assistant, so I tie that in. I know a lot of people have that negative connotation of CrossFit. Oh, you're going to be injured, which is nice for physical therapists because then they have a job forever. It's job security. Well, I kind of like to tell people, obviously people get injured, but you can get injured in anything, especially when the sport requires you to lift weights that you're not used to or move in ways you're not used to if you don't have the mobility. So that's what we're here for. We're here to teach you how to move right, and we're here to teach you that CrossFit isn't scary and you can do CrossFit anywhere. All CrossFit is functional movements performed at a high intensity that are constantly varied. That's all it is. So it's nice and fun. We like to make exercise fun. Anytime that you want to do some kind of exercise, whether it's powerlifting, whether it's only Olympic lifting, or whether you're a weekend warrior, you want to make exercise fun. So that's what we're here for. Whether you want to watch us, if you have questions about any of our workouts or anything that you're concerned about, please feel free to comment, and we'll go ahead and address those issues. But today, I really want to go ahead and go over a movement that is very near and dear to my heart. If you know me, and maybe you were my clinical instructor and you knew how much I loved squatting. It's not that I love to lift heavy weights or anything like that. I just love the movement because it's so functional. We do it all the time. I'm not saying everyone does it right, because that's the problem a lot of times, is we're doing it wrong. And that's where we get all these injuries, whether it's our low back or whether it's our knees or our ankles, whatever, in our hips. I'm just going to go ahead and do a basic overview, make this video short, but then teach you maybe you'll learn something that you're doing wrong, and then I could teach you how to do it right. Or maybe you're doing it just a different way. It works for you, so go ahead and leave your comments, and then let us know what you think of our video. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it for you. I'm going to go ahead and teach you all a very basic way to do a squat for you. And I like to teach this on a box. Here you go. I'll move this a little bit further away so you can see where I'm going with this. Okay, so you can see my feet and everything, okay? So I like to teach everybody on the box because it's very functional to sitting down into a chair, which we do all the time. Unfortunately, in our Western culture, we are sitting way too much. We do need to show stretching exercises. We will show that in later videos on the psoas and how to stretch out your quads and your hamstrings to get good form. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and go over a brief overview of the squat, and then I'm going to actually teach you a very simple workout to utilize the squat. Okay, so typically what we have our clients do, or our athletes do, we want them to line up with their feet about shoulder width apart. That's kind of a common denominator. The feet angle has been something that we talk about a lot. We want to make sure that we're not pointing our toes way out like this, because this causes your knees to come in, which causes a lot of valgus strain, they call it, or a lot of strain on the inner part of your knee. As you squat down, you get this a lot, like that knee knocking, and that causes a lot of strain. That's where a lot of ACL injuries come from, medial meniscus, things like that. So we like to tell people, turn your feet out slightly, or you can keep them pointed more so ahead, whatever is more comfortable for you. I have long legs, so I point them out about that 5 to 10 degrees. And what I like to tell people as well is go ahead and squeeze your butt, because you want to go ahead and make sure that your spine is in line, okay? You don't want to be overextended like this. You want to go ahead and squeeze that butt like you're trying to hold on to some money in there. And you want to go ahead and keep your ribcage down, and then keep your belly tight as well, okay? So this is a nice core that you have here, so your spine is stable and everything is neutral. Your head's not going to be cranked way back, and your shoulders aren't going to be rounded forward like this. You want to be nice, good posture for you. Everything's nice and lined up. After you get your feet set up and your whole core stabilized, you can go ahead, I like to tell people, you can reach out and sit that butt back. I don't want you to sit down and buckle those knees, and I want you to really focus on pushing those knees out, okay? And what I mean by that is almost pretend like you have someone's hands or like a belt around your knees, and you have to hold that belt up. If you let your knees come in, that belt's gonna fall, or that band is gonna fall. So when you sit down, try and force those knees out, and then sit back up. You want to make sure that you maintain that spine in neutral the entire time. Tap the butt and stand back up. You want to go ahead and make sure that the balls of your feet and your heels are in contact with the ground. And I'll show you from the side. You want to make sure that those shins are more so vertical than forward. A lot of people like to shoot their knees forward and then sit down. That's a no-no. That causes a lot of strain on the knees as well. So what I want you to do is try and keep those shins vertical, or more so vertical. So you're going to keep everything nice and braced. I want you to go ahead and sit that butt back and down, okay? Here, remember, you're forcing those knees out, back and down. And you're going to tap and go. For those of you who like to sit down, this is a true box squat. Maybe you put the weight on your back, but you can bring your arms up, sit down, and then give yourself a slight rock forward to add in that momentum for you. That might help get you up as well. But I don't want you to lean way forward, arching that back, and then trying to stand up. I want you to really hone in on proper body mechanics. That's really important when you're learning this, is because we've programmed into our brain so much improper form that that's why people get injured. They try and use that improper form from squatting down, trying to use the bathroom, or getting up off the couch or off your seat. They've done it so wrong for so many years that they get into the gym and then they try and put a bar on their back and do that same motor programming. So you have to use this gym whenever you come into it, or whenever you're learning how to work out. You have to use this as kind of like your own testing lab to retrain yourself for the real world. That's how I like to tell people. That's what I love about CrossFit as well. It's the functional movements that they really hone in on. And this could be for anyone. But you want to make sure that you do utilize those things. You want to make sure that your shins are more vertical, that your knees aren't going past your toes. You want to make sure that your knees are not caving in. That's really important. You want to make sure that your spine is stable. You're not arching your back or hyperextending as well. And the workout that I want to show you is very simple. I'm not going to do it right now. There are going to be videos in the future where we actually do workouts that you can do with us. And it'll be very interactive. But the workout that I'm going to show you, it's only 4 minutes long. So people complain about not having enough time in their day. I'm like, what? 4 minutes? We're going to do it. It's called Tabata. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it. All it is 8 rounds, 20 seconds of an exercise. So you're going to be doing squats for 20 seconds. And then you're going to rest for 10 seconds. And you're like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. That's nice. No, Tabata is pretty ridiculously hard sometimes, because if you're really pushing and but you're still focusing on your form, that's what I really want you to do. If you're pushing, that 10 seconds feels like a millisecond whenever you get to like a certain round. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate. So since we'll pretend like you're learning how to squat right now, and you're just using maybe a chair or you have a box set up. I want you to go ahead and do the things that I just told you about with the squat, keeping those shins more vertical, pushing your knees out, keeping that spine stable, sitting down, tapping, and go. So whenever that clock starts, 3, 2, 1, go, you start squatting and you don't stop until it hits that 20-second mark, okay? And you can set your clock to do this. I like to use Tabata songs on YouTube. That's a really nice YouTube link for you. It helps keep your rhythm for you, gives you some music, and then keeps count for you as well, which is really nice. Some people are like, I don't know what round I'm on, I'll undershoot it, or it's never too bad to do more work. So whenever you get in the stance, I want you to go ahead, get your spine lined up, squeeze your butt, belly tight, feet are about shoulder width apart, slightly out if that's comfortable for you, and you're going to go ahead and squat for 20 seconds. You can bring your arms up to counterbalance yourself. But I want you to go ahead and keep that head forward. I'm looking at the camera right now. Everything's nice and lined. And you're just squatting, tapping, and going, okay? For you more advanced people, obviously, you can do your air squats if you don't need the box. You can go ahead and do your air squat. And I want you to make sure that your hip crease goes below the knee whenever you do this. So you're here, hip crease below the knee, then you go back up. Keeping that spine nice and stable. Everything that I told you before. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, we're going to have so many more videos to come. Like I said, this is such short notice. That's our purpose, though, through Life Coach, is to help you enjoy life to its fullest potential with a holistic path of health and wellness. And exercise is a huge component of that. There's so many benefits, and we're going to go ahead and dive into all those in later videos. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. We look forward to helping you along your journey. Have a good one.